There is demonic energy all around you. If you do not make conscious effort to protect yourself, then you are at great risk for manipulation, because demons often know many things about you, but you often know very little about them. So let's change that. For the greatest possible protection, we must put on the armor of God. Now, what does this mean? Mooji has a great way of explaining this.
I gave example before that in my country, in Jamaica, you might know, we are fond of eating, well, at least in my family, I'm pretty sure. We are fond of eating green bananas. We have green banana, and they used to boil green banana. And in those days, as a child, we used to have a lot of our knives for cutting were made just of iron, not what they have now, stainless steel, this type of thing, no. Iron knives. So you cut and you peel the banana, and it has a sticky substance inside the banana. That it's I don't know if it's a chemical reaction, but it turns the iron black and sticky, and in your hands it's all sticky, a very sticky thing, no? In the beginning you don't realize it, but after you realize it's too late, it's already all over, no? So what we do is we put coconut oil on the hand first and on the knife, and then you peel. Then after you finish peeling all your green bananas, put them in the pot. Then after that we can wash very easy, a bit of soap, everything come off. If you don't do it, you'll be spending quite a bit rubbing sand on your hand and ashes and all this to get it off. So this metaphor is like that. If you are going to move in this world, which can be quite sticky for the person, then you must put this oil. You anoint yourself with this oil of God. What is this oil? This remembrance, the seeing. And then you'll find that you can move back into the world of diverse and dynamic consciousness, and you will not be overwhelmed. You will keep growing. You will also, by your power, because your power will have changed from person to presence. It's a big change. Person has so many things, so many things. Presence is harmony.
Another way of looking at this is through the image of Christ as the Anointed One. We, in a way, learn to walk on water, because rather than drowning in the sea of life, we learn to transcend it and rise above it. And so first and foremost, we must come to the realization that consciousness, that is our eternal being, that is our true state of being, by default it is transcendent. It is beyond all experience. Therefore, by default, there is no experience that can actually affect consciousness. There is no harm that can be done to it. It cannot be touched by anything. It can only be moved around. So even if you don't believe this right now, the truth is that nothing can ever actually hurt you. No demonic force, no agents of the matrix, no devil, nothing can ever hurt or touch you. And because of this, the forces of evil, the forces of darkness have to manipulate you into giving your consent to them. Just as how you have to welcome a vampire into your home before it can enter. So too, evil has no effect over your life without your consent. So we have to understand that the world, the universe that we live in, our body is tethered to this world. And our minds are designed to act as a governor to control and direct this body, as well as to control and direct the focus of our consciousness. And so the mind and body are really one, because they are designed for each other. And so, the moment we attach our consciousness to the mind body, once we have solidified in an identity of who we believe we are, then immediately we fall under the jurisdiction of the world and all of its evil, all of the death and the suffering that comes with life. That is how the forces of evil gain control over us, is that we have a transcendent eternal consciousness that is beyond all experience, so the evil has no ability to affect it. So instead, it manipulates the mind and gets the consciousness to identify with the mind. I mean, by default, we never actually align ourselves with consciousness in the first place. We're kind of manipulated from the moment we are born. So we are always identified with the mind. And so all, for instance, awakening and enlightenment is realizing the true nature of our being and letting go of our attachment to our mind-body identity. So understand that so long as we have an identity or an attachment to a sense of self, that the forces of evil in the world will in some form or another have jurisdiction over us. But the moment we let go of our attachments, return to the present moment, rest in the inner stillness, the inner silence, take refuge in the arms of God, when we can rest in the space of pure awareness, this is what it means to put on the armor of God. Because when we are in and more aligned with this eternal consciousness, the more and more we can resonate in this space, the more and more we become aligned with the eternal, and the less the temporary has any jurisdiction over our lives. And so we must understand that there is no war to be fought. There is no fighting against evil. These are games that we play in our mind. They say that the greatest trick of the devil is to get you to believe that it does not exist. And so you will be able to tell how far along you are on your journey by whether or not you believe in the devil. Because the devil only has power over you because you believe in it. And you believe in it because you live in a reality in which the devil exists. But as you begin aligning with the eternal nature that you are, returning to the unity of all things, you realize that there was no devil in the first place. That it was just God playing dress up to provide us the beautiful experience of contrast. Because the only way to experience something is to compare it to something else. So therefore, for God to experience itself, it must first become separate from itself. And to become separate from itself, it must become its opposite. And the opposite of God is what you know as the devil. But you see, all is in service to the one Creator. That is why I like to say there are no such things as demons. There are only angels in disguise. It is of your perspective, of your mindset, that you choose to focus on one thing or another. There is good and evil in all things. So you have to make the choice. Do you want to give your energy to that which is evil and negative? Or do you want to give your energy to that which is good and positive? Both are equally true. Actually, I retract that. It is all good. It is only because we seek pleasure and avoid pain that we say the devil is bad and God is good. It is true because that is the reality in which we are living in. So therefore we experience that reality. But the moment we take our focus away from the external world and focus it on the eternal present moment, the more the duality of things becomes less relevant. You see the usefulness that is darkness. You are not so quick to run away from it. you begin to see the purpose of suffering. However ugly it may be, however we may hate it and disown it and reject it, deep down we understand that the dark and the light are both equally necessary for the wholeness of all things. And so we must begin entering a state of becoming beyond good and evil, because in doing so, we transcend the darkness. It no longer has jurisdiction over us, because we see beyond the illusion. Whereas many people in life, they are so caught up in the storm. The greatest secret in overcoming demons is to stop believing in them, because with your belief, they steal your energy. They steal your power. Because if there was a demon standing in front of you, would you not be afraid? Would you not begin feeding it your negative emotions? That is what these negative energies feed off of. They feed off the negativity. They feed off the hate, the fear, the shame, the guilt, the anger. Their job is to steal our energy. And the moment you rise to a higher state of awareness, you realize the game that they are playing. That is, on one level, they are sent here to destroy us. And on a completely another level, they are sent here to push us to our highest states of being. So again, what will you choose to focus on? Will you choose to live a life of fear in which demons are always trying to destroy you? Or will you realize the usefulness and the purpose of the games that they play to help motivate you back to God? Because without the darkness, without the demons, there is no game of life. For what purpose would there be if things were just good and happy all the time? The only reason we appreciate the good is because there is bad. And no matter how much we hate and reject the darkness, we must eventually accept it if we wish to accept the wholeness of all things. It's funny, people like to say, I love you, God, but can you change this and this and this? Can you do this for me? Can you change this person? Can you destroy all the demons and the devil? We love the beauty of God and we reject God's ugliness. And rightfully so. I'm not saying that this is a mistake. I'm just saying that it is better to be less hypocritical. If we wish to love God, if we wish to love life, we must love the whole of life. The reason we suffer is because we get obsessed with the parts of it. But a part of something can never be more true than the wholeness of it. And so by all means, pray for protection. Repeat the affirmations every day, every morning, every night. Do your spiritual practices. But most importantly, fill your heart with love, especially for that which is ugly. Because that which is ugly is often in need of love the most, and that which is loved the least. So don't constrict the love in your heart. Don't reserve it for only that which is beautiful. Love the wholeness of life. Because love is the cure. Light is the cure for darkness. And so too, when you send love to your enemies, to those who wish to destroy you, you not only free yourself from hatred and negativity, but you are also doing a great service to those which need love. You are giving them that which they are lacking. Love is your sword. God is your armor. Christ is your shield.